Hello, and thank you for tuning in again live today. It is Monday, July 15th, and you are currently watching the Skill Building Monday Drawing Group here live on the Reinventing the Tattoo Network. My name is Jason Leeser, and I will be your host for today. And please, if this is working for you, let us know in the comments. Drop us a message and just let me know that I'm not talking to dead air. And please tag a friend who loves tattoos. And welcome to Guy Aitchison's Reinventing the Tattoo Community, where tattooers, apprentices, collectors, and the curious are encouraged to join in these live streams, real world events, to share and inspire and ultimately create better art and tattoos together. We beam out nearly every day, and with your help, have evolved into a quality network of amazing live and on demand tattoo and art shows that have all been receiving rave reviews. You can find Reinventing the Tattoo at www.reinventingthetattoo.com, and you do not have to subscribe right away. We have three different options for you to try it out before you decide to get a subscription if you're interested in getting one. The first option is to take a sample webinar from the Reinventing the Tattoo Canon, where you get to go through and get like a behind the scenes sneak peek about what it's like to get a subscription to the Reinventing the Tattoo Canon. Or option number two, you can get some free advice from Guy Aitchison about your unique goals and goal setting. Or finally, the third option is to take a comprehensive tattoo history course from Jay Brown. For fellow tattoo history nerds such as myself, I cannot stress it enough. The tattoo history course is absolutely amazing. Highly recommend that option. At reinventingthetattoo.com, you can also find access to a full event schedule with both weekly and special event live stream details. For example, if you wanted to join in today's session, all you would have to do is go to reinventingthetattoo.com, click on the events area, pull up the calendar, and in that calendar, you'll see a whole bunch of links to all of the shows that we have that are going on and that are being live streamed, including today's show. So if you did ever want to jump into one of our live streams, that would be exactly where to go to get those links. As well, at reinventingthetattoo.com, you also have access to the Reinventing 24/7 channel, which has about 13 different episodes going at any given time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and is available on all web-enabled devices, cell phones, tablets, iPads, laptops, you name it. At reinventingthetattoo.com, you can also find access to a whole host of professional development courses from over 20 world-class tattoo artists. For example, if you want to learn how to tattoo a skull like Bob Tyrell, well, we have a seminar for that. If you wanted to learn how to tattoo a koi fish half sleeve like Andre Malcolm, well, we have a seminar for that. We have seminars in all different areas encompassing all different subjects, and they're all available at reinventingthetattoo.com. You can also find us in both of the app stores, the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, as well as our Reinventing the Tattoo YouTube channel, our Reinventing the Tattoo Roku channel, which has 12 to 15 different episodes going at any given time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and is available on all Roku-enabled devices. And you can also find us in all of the major podcast directories such as Apple and Spotify. Or you can do what most people do and just do a quick browser search for Reinventing the Tattoo and you'll find it all. Except for the book, which is out of print. Good luck getting your hands on a copy. They are few and far between these days. But if you do come across a copy for sale, please, by all means, let me know. I know that there's still a few people out there willing to part with theirs, and I'm looking to pick up another copy. So please, by all means, if you come across a copy, just let me know. Once again, if this is working for you, please let us know in the comments and in the chats, and please tag a friend who loves tattoos. Maybe it's someone that's looking to get their next tattoo or someone that wants to become a tattoo artist. Tag everyone that you think might be interested in the show. Speaking of shows, we have a number of weekly staple shows we always encourage people to tune into. Starting off on Mondays at 9 a.m., we have Drawing for Tattooers with James Wisdom, where we get to go through and discuss basic drawing techniques and strategies. Helps us get back to our roots of being a fine artist and helps us get back to those core fundamentals of creating great art. And that is 9 a.m. Monday mornings, Drawing for Tattooers with James Wisdom. Following that, you have this show, which is the Skill Building Monday drawing group hosted by me, Jason Leeser. And that is at noon every Monday. All of these times are East Coast times, by the way, so please be aware of that. Time zones may change when they get broadcast. And capping off Monday nights at 9 p.m., we have a subscribers exclusive drawing group with Sandy McAndrew. And that is only for people that have a subscription, either a Reinventing the Tattoo Canon subscription, a Reinventing the Tattoo Evolution subscription, or a Monday evening drawing group subscription. And that those are the only people that are capable of accessing those subscribers exclusive drawing groups. Now, I can tell you from firsthand experience, having done the subscriber exclusive drawing groups at 9 p.m. on Mondays for the better part of 2 years, that you will notice a remarkable difference in the work that you're doing after you start doing those Monday evening drawing groups alone. A lot of it comes down to, personal accountability. You're being held to be there to show up and to work on your art. And every week they cover a different topic in the Reinventing the Tattoo Canon. Maybe it's light source, maybe it's texture, maybe it's, who knows? They cover just about everything you can imagine, but you have to have a subscription to actually access the 9 p.m. drawing group, and that is Monday evenings with Sandy McAndrew. Following that, on Tuesdays at 11 a.m., we have the Tattoo Weekly Show with Gabe Ripley, Lauren Gregory, and Fawn Baker. And that is absolutely awesome. It helps us, keep in touch and stay relevant with what's going on in the tattoo industry, whether it is new legislation being passed, new rules and regulations or laws, or any number of other things that might impact the industry as a whole. And that is the Tattoo Weekly Show at 11 a.m. on Tuesdays. Following that, on Wednesdays at noon, we have the Tattoo Now Show with Gabe Ripley, where we get to do a deeper dive into the business aspect behind tattooing. Maybe it's covering travel visas, or maybe it's marketing and advertising strategies. All of that and a whole lot more is covered in the Tattoo Now Show with Gabe Ripley, and that is Wednesdays at noon. Capping off the week, Thursdays at 6 p.m., we have the Tattoo Collecting 101 podcast with Fawn Baker. It's absolutely awesome. Great place for us to go through and share some of our stories about, the tattoos that we've collected over the years, and, some of the things that we've learned along the way. We do have two very special in-person events coming up. We have the Hell City Tattoo Convention, and that is coming up August 22nd through 26th, and that is in Phoenix, Arizona. Special guests and attending artists include, but are not limited to, Paul Booth, the Master of Darkness himself, Mike Cole, Ty McEwen, Ron Earhart, Amber Joy will be there, D-Rock, Oak Adams, and Anna Mia, two very good friends of mine. Brian Geckel will be there, Jimmy DeLessio, Pepe Carrere, Chris Mack, and of course, yours truly will be there tattooing live. Feel free to stop by. Still have some dates open for tattoos, so please get your appointments in while you can. After that, we have the Paradise Tattoo Gathering, and that is coming up October 24th through 27th in Hancock, Massachusetts. At the Paradise Tattoo Gathering, we will be beaming out live from Jiminy Peak, and we will have people presenting such as Jake Meeks from the Fireside Tattoo Network, Kyle Olson, Renee Little, Mickey Schlick will be there, Cindy McAndrew will be flying out, Thea Duskin will be presenting. Corey Ferguson will be there. Steve Butcher will be doing a seminar. Christina Christie will be in attendance. Gunner will be there and teaching as well. Anthony Tex will be flying out from Calgary in Canada to teach a seminar. Russ Abbott will be there presenting on 3D models, and a whole lot more. You do not want to miss this lineup. This year at Paradise Gathering is going to be absolutely epic. You cannot miss this. It is going to be awesome. I personally cannot wait to go because it's going to be great. Would like to go through and thank some of our sponsors and some of the people that make these shows happen, starting off with worldtattooevents.com. the largest, most comprehensive resource for tattoo events worldwide. They're constantly keeping everything updated. As we know, living in this post pandemic era, there are still tattoo events and conventions that are getting rescheduled like crazy. So, if you want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest, most up to date tattoo event or convention information coming to a city or town near you, take a look at worldtattooevents.com. Would also like to say thank you to tattoonow.com, technology for tattooers, the leading edge in professional development, management, and digital tools for tattooers of all levels. They are 100% competitive with any type of CRM, mailing list, or scheduling software out there. So if you really want the digital tools that will help you bring more people through the door that are really trying to get the kind of work that you really want to do, take a look at tattoonow.com. They are absolute masters in utilizing these digital tools to really help get your presence out there. And they've been doing it for over 20 years. Would also like to say a very special thank you to Guy Aitchison at guyaitchison.com. He is the founder and inspiration behind Reinventing the Tattoo. You can go to guyaitchison.com where you can pick up a copy of his Biomech Encyclopedia, some of his tutorial DVDs. I think he still has a few custom coil machines for sale, as well as countless fine art prints and the occasional oil painting, all for sale at guyaitchison.com. Would also like to say a very special hi and thank you and shout out to Amy Nichols over at the Apprenticeship Diaries. The Apprenticeship Diaries is my recommended source for more information on tattoo apprenticeships and how to get a good apprenticeship, how to understand what a good apprenticeship is in the tattoo industry. And there's tons of great advice on there, and that is the Apprenticeship Diaries with Amy Nichols. We ask if you like today's show, please go through, help us get the word out. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down at the bottom of the page. That way you stay up to date with all of the latest upcoming episodes here on the Reinventing the Tattoo channel. If you would like to host a Reinventing the Tattoo event or become a sponsor of our community, or maybe you're looking for a fine art or a tattoo critique, you can always email management at reinventingthetattoo.com and we will get back to you just as soon as we can. Kind of wraps up today's intro. Don't really have too much specific that I was planning on covering today. So if at any point in time anyone has any questions about anything, please, by all means, feel free to drop us a note in the chat box, and we will be happy to get back to you as soon as we see it. Yeah, I just wanted to, I'll probably be sketching out some waves here in just a minute. I did pick up a new kind of seminar, on demand seminar from a different source. Enter the Fishbowl, and that is over at, hold on, let me pull that up real quick. That is. Let's see. That is over at elsewheretattoo.com. And that is hosted by Shane Ford. And I absolutely love his stuff. They have a number of different episodes that are available, including different on demand seminars and not really seminars, but more just like people sitting around talking about artwork and drawing and trying to understand art and composition a little bit better. I recently just picked up the water episode, which is episode 6. They're all reasonably priced. They're about $15 each, but they are absolutely phenomenal and packed with information that can really, really help you. And I have been kind of hung up on the water episode for the past couple of weeks, and just been trying to sketch, as many waves and water as I can. Just trying to understand the different ways that it can be drawn. So it's something I highly encourage everyone to do. It's one of the ways that we always try to stay sharp is to take things that we've normally drawn before and try to draw them in different ways, right? take a skull, for example. There's 100 million different ways to draw a skull. Give it different looks, give it different textures, give it different lighting. Some with outlines, some without outlines, some that are only outlines, some that are high contrast, some that are very subtle in contrast. There's a lot of different ways that you can draw anything out there. Um, but you never really know until you try to start drawing things in different ways to achieve different looks, what you're truly capable of. And it's something I'm always trying to do, is push myself to be more and do more and draw more and be better. And I know that waves are something where I got really comfortable with drawing them at one point in time. So now it's time to get out of my comfort zone and start trying to draw them in different ways. And I'm just going to roll my iPad over here. And I'm going to switch this. And I believe this is this one. Yay! Okay, great. Awesome. I'll just throw my little thumbnail up there for people that want to see me. So I'm currently going through and I'm working on waves and wave structures, just trying to understand them a little bit better. And I've kind of got like crashing waves down, but I want to start getting a little bit more into like the rolling waves that are a little bit more gentle, that don't necessarily have the same amount of force to them. When you look at stuff like this guy up here, it tends to be, you tend to see a lot of motion, a lot of wave strength there. Same thing over here with this guy. You really start to see a lot of the power that water can have, especially if it's crashing against something. So what I'm trying to do is dial that back, and I'm trying to create more of a gentle rolling wave, something that's not going to have quite as much emphasis or quite as much power. Just something that's not necessarily subtle, but something that's going to be a little bit, it's going to have a little bit more of like a roll to it. Um, think the difference between like a crashing wave and then a rolling stream, right? So that's kind of what I'm trying to focus on with some of these ways to draw water. Now, I've always been a fan of starting out with just, like a little kind of S curve, and I'm not sure how well people can see this. It's supposed to be pretty light, so hopefully everyone can see it all right. So I usually like to start out with just like a little S curve, right? And then build from there. Now, this doesn't have to be, a perfect S curve. It's basically just going to be a guideline. And it's going to be a guideline for me to go through and start to kind of practice, where do I want these kind of gentle rolls to be. They're all going to be different, but right now I'm just trying to lay out like a rough idea of like where could they sit, how could they look, just trying to get like an underlying structure together. Because what I'll probably end up doing is having something like this in the background, just kind of denoting like which way this water is rolling. Maybe I'll bring this back here. I just wanted to show like a gentle roll, nothing crazy. Maybe I'll add like a little wake up here. And maybe something else over here just to give it a little bit of texture. And we'll curve these over a little bit more. Create a new layer, switch my color up. So what I've noticed is that in certain waves and certain ways to draw the waves, There tends to typically be a couple of different methodologies. There are a few people out there that draw them with more of like a smooth undersurface, and they'll kind of have this like bubbly, almost rolling top where it's kind of, frothy. Um, and they'll keep the top very textured, and very kind of bubbly. Maybe not bubbly, but it's got a few more of like the ripples in there. But they'll keep the underside pretty smooth, right? They're not really going to have too much variation on the underside of the wave. Um, so it's definitely one concept, one way to go about it, where you can really kind of denote like a almost like a gentle roll. Every now and then they'll add like a little something on the underside, but it's not usually too much. Um, I'm really trying to follow something that I recently picked up in that episode of sketching water, and that's having directions, right? So coming down, and then this one's coming down, and then going back up. So really trying to emphasize the direction of the lines that I'm sketching. And it's one way to do it that can very easily be construed. Um, if I wanted to go with something a little bit more traditional, then I would keep it with a little bit more of like a sharp point, and I wouldn't do quite as much. And then this would give me a bit more of a traditional wave where it's got very, very sharp points, sharp, pointy teeth. Oh, I love that movie. More traditional waves can be very easily sketched. There's not too much to them. That's why they're traditional. Um, so it's just another way to do it. I'm not going to spend too much time working on these because these are just very, very rough sketches. And then you have something that's a bit more complex. You've got more complex waves that are kind of like, you've got a lot going on the top of them. You've got a lot going on the bottom of them. Um, you know, and that's kind of what makes them a lot more complex. It's just something I've started to pick out from different things. You'll have a lot more ridges underneath the bottom to kind of denote where the water would be crashing over. You've got a lot more of the bubbling and rolling froth at the top. Maybe you'll have a couple of branches coming out that are going to be super, super thin. With like maybe some bigger bubbles, bigger areas where the water is kind of rolling over. Just always kind of trying to mess around with different ways that it can be done. I'm not really trying to go for like a realistic approach with it. Um, if I were to try to do realistic water, that would be a bit more of a different approach. Um, I would definitely take things in a bit of a different direction if I was to do that. But what I'm really trying to do is just kind of give it like a gentle roll. I'm not really trying to focus so much on a whole lot of energy coming out, just a lot of very gentle curves. What I've started to notice is with more gentle rolling water, um, is that you get a lot more of a rounded curve as opposed to something that's a bit more sharp that doesn't have quite as much of a full rotation. Um, it gives it that real nice gentle kind of like rolling motion where it's going almost all the way around. And then we can always add some more froth up at the top. Maybe we'll have some froth cutting back. Something a little bit more gentle, just some nice little curves, nothing crazy. Maybe we'll have a little bit of it cresting, but it kind of depends on what our environment is around it. Today's episode is going to be kind of short. Yeah, ink journeys, absolutely, man. Gotta love them waves. Waves are perfect filler. Waves can create motion. Um, to me, it's like it's just fun. We can even do like a little bit of like a rollover at the top. Maybe bring that back and around for this part. Maybe we'll have like a little bit coming out over here as well. Just have some fun with it. You never know until you start playing around what you can actually achieve. It's one of the things that forces me to constantly strive to learn new stuff. You know, um, and I love learning. I love learning new techniques and new strategies and new drawing ideas and mediums and stuff like that. It's just a lot of fun because you never know. You really don't. But yeah, got a little bit of time for any questions anyone might have today. Feel free to go through and shoot those at me. Otherwise, we will probably be wrapping up in just a minute. Um, Stay tuned. I'm going to try to get a few other artists on here to do some interviews with over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to try to get Ross Abbott on here. I might get Anthony Tex back on here, interview those guys and ask them about, their upcoming seminars at Paradise Gathering. I think it should be a really good time. If no one's got any questions, I'll hang out for another minute. Then we'll probably wrap it up for today. I've got quite a few other things going on in life at the moment. My central air unit just broke last night. So, yeah. So I'm going to have to deal with that in the heat today. And it is not going to be fun. But I'll get it taken care of. It's these little things in life we just got to smile and laugh through and, just kind of absorb. Yeah. Ink Journeys, thank you very much for tuning in today. Once again, guys, sorry about the short session today, but life does like to throw curveballs at people. I'm one of them, and I'll make it out on the other side for sure. Just got to keep smiling through it. Just got to kind of look at the silver lining. So, thank you guys very much for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. As always, if anyone has any questions, comments, or concerns, or anyone they would like me to interview, please, by all means, shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'm right up here at Philly Inc., and I will be happy to make things happen. So thanks a lot, everyone. I hope you guys have a wonderful day today. Stay cool if it's hot outside. Stay warm if it's cold outside. And I will see everyone again next week for the next episode of Skill Building Monday with Jason Leeser here live on the Reinventing the Tattoo Network. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.